2026's Faces of Death revive a notorious legend.
Or bury it for good. Find out next on the cutting room floor.
Faces of Death.
Gonna kill everybody. What's up, Misfits and Metalheads, and welcome to another episode of the cutting room floor. We are from the band The Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Rose Blood.
And today we are talking about Faces of Death, the remake currently streaming on Shudder. But first, don't forget we have music all over the place, including some music videos right here on YouTube. Hook a band up and sign up for our mailing list at cutlikethismusic.com. Rose, why don't we dive into this one, and why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
Well, this was an unexpected film, honestly, because the original Faces of Death was a shockumentary exploitation video nasty. It was one of the original video nasties. Video nasties were in the UK. There was this movement to start censoring stuff, and they called them, those movies that were banned were called video nasties.
Okay.
Evil Dead was a video nasty, as a matter
Makes
of fact.
sense. Yep.
So yeah, it was stuff that was considered too extreme and too creepy and gross and weird to be, that it shouldn't even be allowed to be screened anywhere. So, they made good with this, and they kind of exaggerated this thing. They were like banned in 46 countries. This was the kind of thing that back in the day, you could not stream things online like you can now. Back in the day, I think I've mentioned this in the past in other cutting room floor episodes, but back in the day, we used to trade stuff. It would be like a white label on it.
Yeah.
It would be
One of
like
those
poorly
VHS.
dubbed.
Yep.
In certain scenes, it would be suspiciously, the tracking would be messed up, and those were fun times, honestly. They were. You would pick a movie really only based off of the artwork that was on the outside of that VHS tape. So the VHS tape art, I felt back in those days, was so much more fun and exaggerated and ridiculous, And so yeah, it was really cool that they incorporated this. So anyway, this 2026 remake is not a direct remake at all, actually. This is actually something even better, to be honest. This is a film where they unexpectedly and incredibly well edit in there are some scenes that are from the original Faces of Death, which I thought was really cool. And they are literally, the main character, her name is Margot Romero. And she works for a company, and she basically, it's like a video platform, kind of like YouTube-ish, but it has a different name, like Kino or something. And
Margot's breaking one of the golden rules of her job, and then she's one of the people training guys on what not to do, and then she ends up doing it.
Exactly. So she's basically the person that helps to curate the content, and basically just like how the original Faces of Death was a video nasty and it was censored. She works to basically decide whether something should be censored or not from this video sharing platform. So that's her job. And, she is not really doing that well at it.
She's not doing that well
she is
at
really
it.
not.
I'm like, somebody who it seemed like she had a bunch of strings pulled to get that job, and then is immediately like not following the rules. I'm like, uh-oh.
So this ends up putting her in a whole lot of trouble, and in opposition to a strange set of videos that seem to be in conjunction with the original, inspired by, if you will, the original Faces of Death, which is so cool, because this is such a good tribute to the spirit of the original. And this was a nasty bit of work at the time. It definitely messed me up a little bit as a kid when I saw it.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, this
that
was one of those things that was spoken of in hushed tones.
Right.
Yo, did you
It was like one of the
was,
biggest underground hits
it was,
of like, you weren't cool unless somebody had like an older brother or somebody had a copy of Faces of Death and you saw it.
And it's actually pretty fun that in the movie there are characters that are talking about the original Faces of Death, and they're saying basically the same thing that we're saying right now. So it's just a real deal, like, if you know, kind of like, if you were super into horror at that time, you would have seen it. but you would have seen it in a really sketchy way.
Yep.
You know, like you could only see it in a sketchy way.
Exactly.
You couldn't go into Blockbuster and watch this. You couldn't go online and download it because it wasn't the time that you could download things like that.
Know somebody that knows somebody.
This was a great way to incorporate this original idea and to totally make it its own thing. This is a standalone story. You could have never seen the original Faces Death, and it wouldn't matter because they explain everything and how it's connected in the film anyway. So it doesn't even matter. Now, this stars, I should say that the main actress, Margot Romero, that I was talking about, she's played by Barbie Ferreira. She was in Euphoria. She was one of the major character in Euphoria. And she's not a stranger to horror, actually, because she was also in the film Nope. So there you go.
That was fun.
Yes.
I like that one.
And and her antagonist, so to speak, is played by none other than Dacre Montgomery from Stranger Things.
And I gotta say, this guy is playing, he knows how to play some bad guys.
Oh man, he's good. He showed a lot of intensity as his character in Stranger Things. And he is even more scary in this one. Because he's like, you know, he's still kind of a hunky heartthrob in Stranger Things.
Yeah, and this
in this, he is a creep.
He's
a creep.
Graduated to straight serial killer in this one.
he is a total super scary sociopathic weirdo. And you really hate him. You really hate his character.
He's doing his job at being a really hateable,
I hated his guts.
Character.
I hated his guts.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have found our best new villain actor.
I definitely want to see him playing some more bad guys.
Right, this cements the deal almost.
I'm
like, yes, just keep playing bad guys. You're so good at it.
But do you know, the first type of character that we saw him as was as a hero, because he was in fact the Red Ranger in the 2017 Power Rangers movie.
Wow.
How funny is that? I didn't even realize that until I was like looking up stuff for this episode.
I mean, that's some cool cred.
That is really cool cred, to be honest. I kind of like that Power Rangers. I was not mad at that. I kind of wish they would have kept going with it because I thought that the suits were really cool looking, and you know, I know some people felt it missed the mark, but for me, I thought it was pretty.
I thought it was cool.
Anyway,
whatever.
Moving right along. I also want to talk about her best friend. Margot's best friend in this film. His name is his name is Ryan, and he's played by Aaron Holiday. I thought he was such a good character. Like, he really, like, first off, their chemistry together was very good bestie energy.
I totally believe
that they were besties. Like, they just
yeah.
felt like they just understood each other, that they came from the same world, and that they like, he's like this kind of extroverted, you know.
I like that they had a lot of ups and downs in their relationship.
Yeah,
and
but it's like, but they would still always...
that's how friends are going to be when they're clashing. Especially if they're besties, they're going to tell you what they're thinking right now about this situation, but you're going to make up eventually and get over it too.
Really good, like, felt that friendship felt so real, and I thought he did such a good job, so I wanted to give him a shout out. And he is also from Euphoria, and he also was in the movie Cocaine Bear, which was actually more fun than it should have been. For such a stupid premise and a stupid name.
Right, that was fun for such a stupid movie.
That was definitely one of those, like, you know, stupid popcorn, like, dumb movies.
It's like you want to laugh and see people get, like, shredded in the Cocaine Bear. You know?
Yeah. And then we also have one of the other characters is Sam. She's played by Josie Tota. She was on the TV series Buccaneers, and she was also in the Saved by the Bell reboot, actually. The Saved by the Bell reboot series that they came out with, which I wish I had kind of checked out a little bit more. And she was a voice actor on Big Mouth. So, all of that being said, that's the idea of this. We thought it was super fun. And I think that they really incorporated aspects of the original Faces Death super well,
they did
because
that.
you couldn't have, like, it wouldn't have been good as an actual, like, note by note remake, I don't think it would have been good. I think that this was actually like a very cool way to go about it.
That. A note by note remake, I feel like would have kind of fallen flat.
No, because it wasn't really a movie.
Exactly, it wasn't. But this one actually is. They do have a story you can follow and characters, but still have all the Faces of Death stuff in it. Yeah, and I'm like, this is a hybrid to like kind of revitalize it and move it forward. Yep. I don't know if they're going to keep moving it forward. Like, who knows? But it was still a good one-off if for sure. That's all we're getting.
So all of that being said, we like to rate Fiat Chainsaw with 5 chainsaws, being a masterpiece of exploitation shockumentary horror. 1 chainsaw. Well, you're not even going to be able to open up the VHS packaging with that.
Oh, no, you're not.
So, that being said, Thorn Black.
Yes.
How many chainsaws are you going to give to Faces of Death?
I am going to give 2026 Faces of Death 4 out of 5 chainsaws.
Yeah.
I think that this is a pretty good movie. I was surprised. I was suspecting it not to be very good just because, it's hard to kind of continue something so much later. I like the main villain. I think we are seeing a budding star of villainy in this guy. Oh, yeah. Especially coming from Stranger Things and everything.
High-quality villainy.
High-quality villainy. And just, a lot of disturbing moments mixed in with the old Faces of Death, mixed in with him kind of like recreating some of the stuff. Just, a lot of disturbing things are going on. You really start feeling for the character after a certain point. At first, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling for her as much. But eventually it's just like, but this guy's just a scumbag. Like, I can't,
He was worse.
Yeah.
He was so bad.
I definitely felt the tension and, good job. I enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Rose,
excellent.
What are you going to give this one?
I'm going to give this film, Faces of Death, a whopping 4.5 chainsaws. Vroom, vroom. Let's go. I thought this was an amazing reimagining and great way to use the original, even using original footage, using original voice audio clippings throughout this movie. It never forgets where it came from. And then it actually elevates it into an actual story with characters that I care about and a villain that I absolutely freaking hate. Oh my God, I hated him so hard in the best way. He did such a good job. He was and it's a pretty amazing thing because before this, he was this heartthrob, super hunky character.
Yeah, but he was still a really big jerk in that too.
He was a jerk in that one too. But he was objectively hunky, and they actually somehow managed just with his mannerisms and the way they dress him. Yeah. It's like he's still attractive, but somehow he's not. Like he's just so creepy. Like he's just wrong.
Yeah,
and
he plays the role well.
Villain.
I like a lot of the mannerisms and stuff that he was doing also to play this character.
He did a lot to really
show like how unsettled mentally he was. By just the way he would do certain things or certain celebrations or hype himself up. It was just like it was just off kilter and just like, all right, this guy's out of here.
Yeah, he was beyond sketchy and like gross.
Yeah.
But not in the usual overbearing way that you would expect. It's just unsettling. It's unsettling the way that, good bad guy. Good excellent bad guy. And that's what I need in a film. Also, the effects are really good and the kills are really cool. Just the setups and everything. There's a lot of great tension, and there's cool cinematography and lighting as well in this one too. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. This was way better than I thought it was gonna be.
You have your homework for the weekend. You're welcome. Once again, we are from the band Cut Like This. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. Get some band merch. We got shirts.
I'm not wearing a shirt, so I'm just wearing a spooky shirt. It's not. I need the cool gear. Next time, I'll have to model for you guys the newest merch we got. Some tank tops, y'all. We got some tank tops.
'Cause it's hot AF.
It's hot over here, so why not get yourself a beautiful cut like this tank top?
That's all for this week. We are out.